What's going on, guys? It's Mike, and as you can tell, things are a little different. I'm on the road. I'm traveling for some client work, undisclosed state, undisclosed city, sitting in an Airbnb in the evening. I'm up here on the third floor of this place. And it's a little warm. I'm a little stuffy. The air conditioner, I couldn't get the stupid fan to stop running downstairs. Trying to find a spot that I could shoot in. So hopefully audio doesn't sound too bad, and hopefully I'm visible. I'm looking out a dormer. I was hoping for a little bit of natural light to come in, although the sun's starting to go down, so the clock is ticking here. I want to make a video today because I want to respond to some comments that I've been getting for quite a while now. I put a video out about a month ago where I shared some informal thoughts about work. I was talking, if you haven't seen it, specifically about working remotely versus working in person with other people. And I was just saying, hey, I'm not trying to come down hard one way or the other, but let's be careful that we don't write off the value of in-person work. I think there's something when you're working in face-to-face with another person, other people, that can be magical, problem solving and so on. Also, a couple years ago, I did a video, or maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, I lose track of time, but I did a video entitled How to Escape Wage Slavery. And that was made, I wrote an article, same title, turned that into a video. So those two pieces, those two videos plus that third piece, the article, have received great feedback. I mean, some of you guys, hey, great stuff. Some push back, but in a great way. I really appreciate people saying, Mike, I see what you're trying to say, but I don't think you're thinking about this. You're not considering that. This is great. So it helped kind of inform my thinking, especially that last piece that I did, the working one. So it's been a good conversation, but there's been a kind of steady stream of a certain kind of comment that I want to address today. I don't mind negative comments. I like positive ones, like any human being. I don't mind negative ones. It's good. It's good feedback, helps me grow. I know I'm not always gracious. Sometimes people are hostile and I get a little snippy. So if you are one of those people that you got kind of a snippy, cocky, stupid response from me, I apologize. I'm not perfect. I'm sorry, I'm not perfect. But I love you guys. I hope you know that. And I'm often ashamed of myself when I don't answer in a way that is becoming of a man of my stature and age. Anyway, I've been getting this steady stream of a different kind of comment, though. And the reason I want to address is because to me there's this underlying theme, like there's this assumption that I want to address. And so a lot of these comments are like, you don't understand how bad it is. You don't understand how soul-sucking my job is. You don't understand how horrible my company is. And then often these people will just go on a tirade about companies and bosses and work in general. And to me, there's this underlying refrain or chorus. I don't know what musical analogy we need to make here, but there's this underlying refrain, let's say, that I'm helpless, that there's nothing that can be done. There's nothing that can be done. I'm helpless. And I hate that. I hate that. Now, I do understand there are people that don't have options. I get that. I also understand that there are people that are living in societies where they don't have any freedom. They're stuck. They're really stuck. I suspect that the people responding this way to my videos are not people in those situations. I don't think these are people sending me comments from prison. I don't think these are political dissidents. I don't think these are people that have been stripped of their rights and their human rights, and so they're just sitting there saying it's not fair. Typically, these seem to be like, software engineers and technicians and, warehouse workers, and they're just general people with good or decent jobs, but they hate their job. They hate their boss. They hate their coworkers. They hate the nature of the work that they do. And they're angry at me for having the audacity to suggest that maybe it's good to be in an office working with other people, or the audacity to suggest that, there are some things that you can do to get yourself out of debt. I'm talking about the how to escape wage slavery, and to get yourself in a position where you have more freedom. I don't think that my content's the bomb. I don't think that I'm a genius. I don't think that I've always got the right answer. Sometimes I'm wrestling with something and I'm sharing it with you. Now, this video, this is informal. This isn't like here's 5 steps. So I know that I can put something out there sometimes and I can miss it. I've done it before. You put something out and you're just like, that's close, but you didn't quite get it right. And I get that. And I want to be humble and say, I understand that. But the reason that I feel kind of worked up about this isn't because I need to defend me. It's troubling to me that this is becoming more and more of an accepted idea, that there are no options, that all companies are bad, that all bosses are horrible, that all work is demeaning. That somehow this is just an outrage, that someone should have to have a job, that they should have to deal with other people, that they should have to deal with people that aren't perfect, that don't treat them the way that the people, they bring their problems to the office. God forbid you have to rub shoulders with somebody that's not perfect. And on top of that, God forbid anyone should suggest that, well, you don't have to do that. Like it seems like these folks are waiting for someone else to come and make their situation better. And the thing that I have to say, and I know I'm being hard, I really don't want to get into this kind of tirade about, well, those people need to just pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Don't you know? When I was a kid, I don't want to get into that. But I feel upset about this because I feel like this lie is trapping people. People are getting sucked into this lie. Here's the thing. This is a fact. It is a unarguable fact. The world is full of options. The world's full of options. They are full of options for relationships. They are full of options for study. They are full of options for recreation and entertainment. And they are full of options for work. And if you're sitting there angry at me on your keyboard, that's fine. It doesn't cost me anything. Or if it does, it's minimal. Okay, I got an angry comment. Okay, whatever. But if you're angry about your situation and you're just pouring venom out through the keyboard at me, and at the same time you're saying that, the world is unfair and so on, but you're not doing anything to change your situation, I mean, really, who's the one that's wrong? Now, I'm not arguing that the world's perfect, and I'm not one of these people that's like, well, capitalism, it's been fantastic, and it's made the world a wonderful place, and don't you love it? I get a lot of the arguments against capitalism. I get it. I understand how it is dehumanizing. I understand how the individualization of every human being in a society and the stripping of that individual of their identity and plugging them into a very cog-like, machine-like corporation where they lose their identity, they lose their will, and they serve this giant machine. I understand how that's dehumanizing. I understand how the elites of our society have betrayed us, that they have stopped caring about us and are more interested in amassing power and wealth. I get that. I understand how political systems are corrupt. I understand how corporations are losing their way and treating people as a means to their ends. I get that. I get that. But even knowing all those things, even knowing about these deep movements of society that are moving us through history, the streams that are so big that we can't swim against them, we just get swept along. Knowing that the world is big and dark and scary and frustrating, I still can't accept the idea that I'm stuck, that I'm helpless. If you are sitting in a job that you don't like, if you're sitting in a job that is soul-sucking, if you're sitting in a job with a terrible manager, and you hate it, you have only one person to look at, and that is yourself. You need to look in the mirror. Now, there'll come a time in our economy, in your economy, depending where you're living and what country you're in, where getting a job, a new job, might be impossible for a period of time. The economy is very unstable right now, unstable. So it may become tough, but I got to tell you, for the last long period of time here, since about 2010, it's been great. And if you wanted a job, you could get it. And if you didn't like the job that you had, you could go get another one. But there's a group of people that are offended that they even have to have a job. Is someone supposed to just pay us all to stay home and play video games and watch Netflix? I like working. Now look, I'm old enough to know that it's not always great, especially when you're coming up. I have had terrible bosses. I've had terrible Bosses that made me sick to my stomach, where on Sunday nights I would sit with my stomach like in a knot, in a pit, just sick to my stomach, dreading Monday, dreading it. Because I knew that guy when I went in was gonna be an animal, and it killed me. May have done that job for a year or two and then moved on. I told him to get stuffed. So that's not me. I'm not saying like, look, I did it the right way, do it like me. What I'm trying to say is I understand. I've had bad bosses. I've had bad jobs. I've had frustrating situations. Heck, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Can you imagine being a teenager in your early 20s, all throughout your 20s, working for people that you could tell were not as smart as you, not as ethical as you, didn't do things the way that you would do them? It's hard when you're entrepreneurial and yet you're stuck with somebody else as a boss, especially when they're incompetent or unethical. So I get it, I'm sympathetic. And I know this has turned into a bit of a rant. I know this is a little bit of like me shaking a finger. I'm sorry for that, but I can't let this slide. Like we live in the world we live in. There's a lot of opportunity for us, even amongst the chaos and the disillusionment and the discouragement. There's a lot of opportunity out there. And if you're struggling right now, I want you to just reconsider. If you're sitting there thinking the world is unfair, you might be right. Like life deals really tough hands. People lose their health. People lose relationships. People have their children taken from them in an instant. Car wreck, some type of accident, sickness, and there's a parent now that's lost a child. I mean, horrible things happen. Look at Eastern Europe right now. I mean, there's just unjust, immoral, difficult things happening to people, just everyday people like you and I. Life isn't fair. But to sit in a job and hate that job and to be infuriated about the concept of working just seems to me a bit childish. Seems a bit childish. So I want to put this out here to push back, not at the individuals. This isn't an attack on you, but I don't like the idea that this concept, this thought is becoming the accepted narrative, that the world's just unfair, work is horrible, and you shouldn't have to deal with it, and someone should make it better. The government should come in and fix it. I want to push back on that. I think that work is a good thing. I know for a fact that there are great companies out there. I know for a fact that there are great bosses, great business owners. There's great work to be had. And I know for a fact that the people that are willing to struggle and strive and try and to push themselves to grow and to learn and to put themselves out there past their comfort zone, those are the people that end up working for the great companies. Those are the people that get to do great work. Those are the people that actually end up starting businesses or having great careers, having wonderful relationships. Yeah, their lives are filled with hardship too, disappointments and hurts. But the people that accomplish something, and if you're one of my subscribers, you're one of my viewers, you're part of this community, I want that for you. I want you to experience the fullness that life has to offer. I want you to find fulfillment. So guys, I'd love to know what you think. I probably crossed a line in this video, but I'm gonna put it out there anyway. I'm just gonna share my heart with you. You're welcome to give me nasty comments if you like. You can thumbs down the video if you like. But I hope if you found it encouraging, I hope if you found it engaging, that you'll respond. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And let's get busy down in the comments. I'd love to know what you think, and I'd love to have a good conversation. Guys, I love you all, and I want the best for you. I'll catch you in the next video. I'll see you. Bye.